Hey guys and girls, it's Logan Holmes, and it is time for not episode review. I'm so used to saying that. Movie review. I've not done number 10. I've not done that many movie reviews. I've done 86 episode reviews, but this is just my 10th movie review. So I think I've said before that I'd like to do movie reviews more often, but I mean, there's really the thing is, like, what movie am I going to review? But anyway, anyway, the movie that I'm reviewing is Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh. Now, this is the last Christmas review that I'm doing for this year. Um, I'm not done with Christmas reviews forever. I'm still doing more next year, but for this year, this is it. So I did a poll on Twitter asking if I had time, what y'all wanted me to review. The choices were Drake and Josh, Grinch, Rudolph, and Simpsons, and two people voted, and both of them picked Drake and Josh. So I'm reviewing Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh. Now this came out in 2008, so happy 10th anniversary. So, and this is actually the series finale of Drake and Josh. The last actual episode aired in September of 2007, and this was released in it aired on. This is a TV movie. It aired on TV in December of 2008. So this was truly the series finale. And I don't think it's going to be coming back anytime soon now that Dan Schneider has left Nickelodeon, but that's a different story. So anyway, it's Christmas. Drake and Josh's parents, what were their names? Walter and can't remember the mom's name right now. Anyway, they're going to this tropical island for Christmas. So, Drake and Josh are going to be by themselves. Um, so, um, so anyway, they're going to have this party on the roof of the premiere. And then, Drake's all like, Helen won't approve. And then, no, Josh is like, if Helen finds out, I'll get fired. And then Drake says, I asked Helen, she says it's fine as long as she's invited and we have churros. So anyway, Drake is a Santa, and then, there's this premiere, like, at the premiere, Drake is Santa, and, so he kisses, so this one girl, and they really aren't, like, kids. The first one was a kid, but after that, like, they're really not kids. Like, this girl's probably, like, in her, like, teens, maybe 20s. They didn't say how old she was, but anyway, she kisses Drake. and then this other girl behind behind her was who's like pretty big. She's like, I want the same thing that last girl got. And then she sits on Drake's lap, and Drake starts running away. And then Drake runs into this this little girl. Like, so this is actually a kid. She says like, I want I want the best Christmas ever. So, yeah, Drake, anyway, so they're having the party on the roof of the premiere, and some guys that Josh didn't invite end up showing up and wrecking everything. So Josh calls the cops, but when the cops get there, they arrest Josh, and then Josh goes off of the like falls off the roof and lands into the bed of a truck, which reminded me like he gets handcuffed and then he falls off into the bed of the truck. And speaking of the truck, you know, usually for like Dan Schneider shows, you know, they'll have instead of using an actual product, they'll replace it with like a parody of that product. Like for example, in the Schneiderverse, Apple is called Pear, and there's been some others throughout the some other things in the Schneiderverse, like in an episode of Drake and Josh, like the GameCube was called the Game Sphere. And I think that there might have been some others, but I can't think of them right now. So, anyway, but yeah, in this movie, they use the actual products. Like you can see, like that truck was a Chevy. No, it's not like not it was a Silverado. Not a parody of a Chevy Silverado. It was an actual Chevy Silverado, which kind of unusual, but I mean another thing unusual is that this movie it doesn't have a laugh track, you know, kind of like, you know, an episode of Zoe 101, because like Zoe 101 was the only show created out of all the Dan Schneider shows for Nickelodeon. Zoe 101 was the only one that did not have a laugh track. And the last movie, like Drake and Josh had two movies. Well, I mean, not counting that one TV movie. Well, they're all TV movies, but there's this one, whatever that big shrimp, like whatever that big shrimp TV movie is. Like, yeah, I can't remember the actual title of it, but like I think it was like Big Shrimp something. Anyway, that one had a laugh track. It's actually because it's actually considered to be an episode of the series. But you've got Drake and Josh go Hollywood and Merry Christmas. Drake and Josh are not considered to be episodes of Drake and Josh. They're standalone TV movies, and they do not have a laugh track. So, so yeah, just saying this is different and and that they use actual products. So, yeah, anyway, so Josh ends up falling out of the truck, and then the cops, actually arrest him, and so then we go to Drake, who meets up with this little girl again, and she says, that like, she recognized him because of his voice, and, yeah. So, she says that, she lives in a foster home, and her foster mom is sick, and her foster dad has to work an extra job to help. So yeah, she wants Drake to give her the best Christmas ever. So then, anyway, so he's in jail, and there's this guy in his cell. Can't remember what his name was. But anyway, he's a pretty big guy, and he starts to become, they start to become friends, but he was like, I still have to beat you up because I have a reputation in here, but like he pretends to beat Josh up. Like, he just, makes it sound like it, but turns out he he isn't really doing it. So anyway, Drake shows up to break him out, and he tells him about, the Christmas promise. But, eventually, but they get caught. And, they're in court, and, Helen shows up, and oh, I should also mention that Drake tried to find Josh a lawyer, but like, Josh, Drake withdrew $3,000 from Josh's bank account and paid the lawyer, but well, a lawyer, I guess I should say, but anyway, he's not really a lawyer, but yeah, he's not really a lawyer. He ends up Josh asks, wait, I'm sorry, Drake asks, wait, why do I have to pay in advance? And then the car drives off. So, anyway, I should also mention that what's happening with Drake and Josh's parents, they're on vacation. Like, they're staying in a bungalow, which that's what they call a hut. And yeah, it's not working out well for them. This is eventually in this story, and they end up eventually getting it in the way. They escape, from there. So I'll just get that out of the way, because it does eventually hook up with the main part of the story, but it'll be a while. So anyway, I'll end up talking about the main part of the story. So anyway, so even though Helen isn't actually a lawyer, Helen is representing them in court. And Helen tells the judge about the promise. And so the judge decides that he'll let Drake and Josh, he decides to put Drake and Josh on parole and until Christmas Day. And if they give the kids in the foster home the best Christmas ever, he'll let them go. But if they, it has to be unanimously, all the kids in the foster home have to say that it's the best Christmas ever. If it is not unanimous, then Drake and Josh will go to jail. So Drake and Josh show up. They end up, trying to give them the best Christmas ever. And then their parole officer ends up the parole officer ends up giving them all these tickets. And so then Drake and Josh ask Megan if he can help, drive, get if she can help get rid of the parole officer, and she says, like, no. Well, wait, no. She's like, well, what's in it for me? And then, and Drake and Josh say that they'll give her some oboe, and she agreed. So she decides to do it, and she takes the chips out of their ankle bracelets, so that way, and puts them on this toy helicopter and flies them around, so to trick the parole officer. But eventually, Megan finds out that oboe that they're talking about, like whoever their friend was that they were saying had the oboe, doesn't. So Megan puts the chips back in the ankle bracelets. So eventually, Drake and Josh go to the parole officer's mom's house, and they find out that the parole officer got one Christmas. The parole officer got a monkey, and he was excited. But when he let the monkey out of the cage, the monkey ended up crazy, going all crazy, and ran away. So he's been giving everyone an off. So he thinks that since he didn't enjoy Christmas, no one should get to enjoy Christmas. So Drake and Josh end up giving the parole officer. Wait, before this happens. So I should mention that before this happens. So the parole officer tells Crazy Steve to yell out, reminding Drake and Josh that about the about the what am I saying? Well, so the parole officer tells Crazy Steve to remind Drake and Josh, like, he has to yell it out, that if they don't give the kids the best Christmas ever, they'll go to jail. And Crazy Steve does it, which now, so the kids aren't supposed to know about the vote. Well, Crazy Steve just, yelled it out, and now the kids know that Drake and Josh will go to jail if they don't give the kids the best Christmas ever. So that girl that, that asked Josh about it, Drake about it, was, saying, gets all mad at them, saying, I thought that you were doing it because you made the promise. I didn't know that you were doing it so you can stay out of the jail. And, Drake keeps saying, no, that's not it. But then, she's still all, disappointed and all. So, Crazy Steve has this, wood chipper. So Drake and Josh ask if they can borrow her, as you know, as Crazy Steve calls it, for so they can use it to make snow. So they end up putting ice in there, and what it does is it like destroys a lot of the neighborhood. It doesn't make snow. Like the ice, it just shreds the ice and like destroys almost the whole neighborhood. So anyway, oh, and I should mention that the parole officer, Drake and Josh gave the parole officer the monkey before this happened. So anyway, um, so yeah, Drake and Josh, so the parole officer ends up, like the ice ends up knocking Drake and Josh out. And they wake up and they see, the parole officer and the monkey, and the parole officer says, you're going to jail. But they're at Drake and Josh's house, I think. Yeah, they're at Drake and Josh's house. But they end up going into, it. But the foster kids are in the house, and they still say that they still tried to make it snow, and it was the best Christmas ever. And they say it was the best Christmas ever. So it was unanimously decided that it was the best Christmas ever. And Drake and Josh are not going to jail, but there's snow outside, and Crazy Steve has his wood chipper, and he finds out that ice doesn't make snow, cheese does. And Drake and Josh's parents get there, and they see that it's snowing, and they're like, smells like cheese. So yeah. So yeah, this is a great Christmas movie. Definitely a really good Christmas movie. I really like the concept and all. Got one. This has to be one of my favorite Christmas movies ever. I think I'd have to say it's just really good. So anyway, I think I've said enough. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and peace out, fans. And, oh yeah, Merry Christmas 2018.